And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Sunday. It is 10:30 a.m. Welcome in. Good morning. And it is in the driver's seat with Corey Renforth. We are joined by some special guests today. We'll get to them in just a moment. Corey, the Boomhauer Bandit.
Yeah.
No racing last night. Little cancellation due to weather.
Yeah, this guy, I guess, out there around Deerfield, they had flood warnings and stuff.
No kidding.
Yeah, so old Jim tried as best he could, and that's the good thing about Jim Good, I guess. Like, he's going to give you every chance he can give you to get out there and race. And if he couldn't do it, nobody could do it. So you have full confidence in that. Like, sometimes, you're racing dirt, not mud. So
well, yeah, you don't want that.
We don't have mud tires. We have dirt tires.
Yeah, you don't want those problems at all.
Yeah, those can get very expensive if somebody's like, let's try it. So like, well, let's try it. Might end up with $7,000 worth of damage to it.
Well, that's the thing. And Jim was in here. He said safety first, always,
yeah.
always. And it's hard enough to race on dirt, let alone be slicker than and on mud. So kudos to Jim and everybody for understanding. Because usually, in sports, you see a lot of people crying about, well, we should be playing. And baseball, especially baseball, is we can play in that. Do this and that. It's a little bit different when you're operating a heavy motor vehicle.
Yeah, when you're dirt racing, you kind of like realize you may not think about it. Your weather at home ain't the same as it is an hour away.
No.
So there might be a track an hour away that you can go to that didn't get 7 inches of rain overnight. So it's like, you got those options, but people like to try to find that out as early as possible, to make those trips and stuff. But Jim, he's pretty good giving you a reasonable amount of time to do that too. He understands. Yeah, you got to have time to travel somewhere. He called it what, 2:45.
Yeah. So it's plenty of time. And some racers actually were able to get up and go over to Pennsylvania and get in. I saw Eakin was racing last night.
Katanning, probably an hour from here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I used to deliver out in that area. I kind of know that area pretty well.
Why didn't you go out and race? Scared?
Yeah, I'm puss.
I
don't know. I had a cousin come in from California, so I was like, she was going to go out to races and watch, but that got canceled. So,
and last night was which race?
It was a Halloween. That's going to be next. They're going to do the track or treat, I call it.
Okay.
So it'll be next weekend.
So they just moved it.
Yeah.
Back when flipped it off next weekend. And do you guys dress up? Is that how that goes?
I have no decorations at all. I don't decorate for Halloween. I don't own decorations. I just don't. I'm not a decorating guy. So it's hard for me to pull those out the old keister, So it's
a couple lights, man.
Yeah, I'm real nice about that stuff. I don't know. I figure I'm goofy looking enough for Halloween. I'm kind of my own scary monster.
Now, we talked last week about the temporary tattoos that you're handing out to people. Yeah. I heard a rumor.
Yeah,
that you might be getting a real tattoo.
Yeah, we're gonna go get a real one.
What are you gonna get?
I'll get that Bandit logo, and
that's what you're gonna hand out.
When I hand those out to the kids, we match.
Okay, so there's 2 different questions I have to ask.
Okay.
The first one was what is it? The second one is where's it going?
It'll be on my arm.
Okay. I didn't know if you're gonna pick a cheek.
I'm not going wild. Yeah. Everybody want to see my tattoo.
The bandito on the chiquito.
Yeah. It depends. If I do some drinking that day or something, it might end up.
Because you could be the bum bandito.
the bum bandit.
That's cool. And you're gonna do it here locally. It sounds like at Bulldog Tattooing here in East Palestine.
Yeah, that's that.
That's the plan.
They do about the best work, I think, from the area. I have no tattoos, so
yeah.
Like them.
Are you nervous?
Not really.
Not a whole lot makes you nervous.
No, not really. No, you got to try everything. You either go in full bore or you don't go.
I love it.
You got to have a wild mentality for this. I guess that's probably from being like the youngest of 3. My middle brother, especially Clint, he liked to use me as like guinea pig. He's like, I might want to ride bulls. Let's see if my brother can ride him. It's like crazy stuff like that.
Well, so is there space available to rent out your arm or your butt for a tattoo?
$20 is $20.
$20? I'm in. I'm in. $20.
Yeah.
I'm in. We'll get a YSN tattoo right on the cheek.
Yeah, you know the old saying. $20.
$20 is $20.
Yeah.
We have some guests in studio today. It's the Greers, a very, very talented bunch. Rob, you've been all over this show since the inception, so we appreciate your support very, very much. And we have young Issac here, 15 years old. The voice of Goods Raceway.
Yeah.
A young man, 15 years. We were sitting here cutting deals before the show started, and Issac, hopefully, Jim, if you're watching, will be the voice of YSN Motorsports moving forward at Goods Raceway next year. Fingers crossed, Jim. We're looking at you to make sure that this happens each and every Saturday night, wherever we go. Because you guys have a couple races at Sharon, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have you hooked up and ready to go. But we'll take care of all the microphones and the cameras and stuff like that. And a little addition to, because this is what we've been working on. This is kind of the crux of why we're doing what we're doing, because we want to feature it Saturday night and then come in the next day and talk about it, right?
Yeah, get everybody's cars and names out there instead of just my dumb ass. I'm not. I don't think I'm not good at this. I just come on here and say dumb stuff people can laugh about.
That's it. That is the crux of it. So Issac, welcome to the show. 15 years old. When did you start wanting to be an announcer?
As long as I can remember, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It was either announcer or racer.
Okay. So what pushed you towards the safer part of that?
Definitely money. We didn't have the funding for 2 race cars. My sister, she said if I race, she races. So
wow.
I'm like, yeah, I'll just go with announcing for now.
I like it. Do you have a dream of being in a car one day?
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you want to go? What do you want to drive?
The goal is eventually 410, but I'd rather drive a 270 at Goods.
Gotcha.
Because
if you got the equipment, I know a car you can drive. Sitting in my garage.
Are you going to be part of the bandit crew?
No, I could.
We can go out there on practice day. You can run around.
All right.
See, there you go. Now you're getting your start. But talk to me about announcing. How did that start? Did you always want to be an announcer? Did you grow up listening to races? And I know you have your own YouTube channel. We'll get to that in a minute. Talk to me about, how did you get the microphone at Goods Raceway?
Well, it started out like when I was a kid. I was always, playing with my Hot Wheels, announcing my own races. And my grandpa brought up one time I got in trouble at my grandma's house. So I got all my cars taken from me, all 25 in a tow truck. I was real mad. So I went out and found some colored pencils. I started racing colored pencils around my grandma's carpet.
Really?
Because the race wasn't over. So I had to find my own way to race. But no matter what, I was always, racing something, whether it be, racers at school on my desk or, and I was always announcing with them. So I kind of just got better as I went. Listening to the World of Outlaws with him growing up as a kid, just copying whatever he said.
Yeah.
On TV, just made it my own little animation kind of thing.
So this is your thing. Like, this is you from the jump. This is kind of your creation in your head, and you kind of hear and put your own spin on it. That's what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
I love it. Because this started as I was a 4 or 5 year old that watched professional wrestling. And I loved being able the announcers, because they made it come to life a little bit. You know what I mean? So then at 14 years old, I became the freshman announcer, PA announcer for the basketball team. And that's how this whole thing contrived. I mean, it was really cool to hear the next generation, because it's guys like you that are going to keep this going. And to be able to storytell through a microphone without a safety net. Because what people don't realize is you're live up there. You're not a robot. You can't go back and redo it. You have to essentially get things going and know what you're talking about. And at 15 years old, do people ever look at you and say, how do you do it? Like, Corey could not get behind that microphone. I mean, he could, but he would not get behind that microphone and do what you do, because you're potentially speaking to 300 people a night.
Yeah. It's definitely a little bit nerve-wracking.
Do you get nervous anymore?
Sometimes.
At the beginning.
Yeah, starting out, it's like, what if I mess up? And then once I get into the rhythm, it's already set out. But yeah, last year when I first started, it was really nerve-wracking, especially
Sure.
my first night
Where you
doing
just
the
said
full
each other.
announcing. It was like, let's see, do I got this? Like, it was a little bit rough, but as I kept going, I got a little bit better.
So what's your favorite part of announcing? When there's a really close race, do you get excited? I mean, I heard it. Corey showed me, and I got to listen to a little bit of your clips there. And it sounds like as the race is tighter down the stretch, your excitement builds a little
Yeah.
bit. I
Yeah.
mean, for you, that's the same way that we do it when there's a close game.
Mm-hmm.
You're investing yourself into it. Talk to me about the feeling. You almost feel like you're in the race.
Yeah, it's I'll never forget the I think it was the Gum where we had a B main, and there were just 6 cars. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be a shootout. There's gonna be 3 cars to take off. The rest of them are gonna be left behind. They all stayed right together, and the entire time my voice was like all the way up because I'm like super excited, and it was like the entire time I was,
You even had to stand back.
Yeah, I was
After
standing
that
up,
race
like, I was
over,
like-
he had to stand back. And it's like, oh, that was a great race.
yeah.
And he had to take a breather after that one.
Rob, talk to me about how proud of your grandson. I mean, this, and you know that how crazy it is because you see it on a weekly basis. How nice is it to see him step up into a role that grown men, grown women don't even do because they're nervous about hearing their own voice or making a mistake?
The way he was asked by Jim to come in and do the juniors for kids racing on the track and also have a kid announcing that, and it and then it moved into and maybe doing a dwarf car race or whatever, and then some certain situations happened, and the way when that situation hit him, and Jim came up and told him, "You got the night, take care of it," and he was like, "What? What I do?" Dude, you know everybody here.
Yep.
Just go with it. Go with the flow, dude.
Walk
And he
lights.
jumped in. Oh yeah, very proud. And he jumped in and handled it and went with it.
So this wasn't organized when you got your first start into
No.
the other ones. This was, hey, we
Yeah,
need
yeah,
somebody.
it was-
Can you do this at the last
there
minute?
was a
Yes.
bit of an incident at the track, and then it was I was like, where did he go? Grandpa goes, I don't know. So I grabbed the mic, I looked at the paper, I'm like, okay, I already know, Bob Bowana, Chris, like I know all these guys. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna look at them and announce them as I went. And then like 2 laps in, Jim comes up, he goes, you got the mic for the rest of the night, and then just walks out. And I look at him like, wait, what? And then I just kind of rolled with it at that point.
So is this a paid gig for you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome because and that flows right into our next category is you're 15 years old. You started your own business at 12.
Mhm.
12. And hang on while I try to bring this up. But talk to me about your business and why it's so exciting for you at 15 years old as an entrepreneur.
It's me kind of, like I was saying, when I was a kid, I was playing with a bunch of little Hot Wheels or like the dollar store kind of off-brand cheap cars. I always take markers and color on them, make them whatever driver I felt, like I'd notice at the track, be like, okay, well.
There they
I
are
mean,
right there. You can see them.
Yep. I'd be like, okay, well, I don't have this driver, so I'd write a number down, and then I write like his last name on the hood, and I just race him. So then once I turned 10, I found out that I could take whiteout from for papers and stuff
Mhm.
and use them on cars and then use markers to color on top of them. And when I turned 12, I don't remember who it was. It was my friend, but he said he wanted a car for himself. So I made him a car. And then my cousin, RJ, he's a racer out there. He wanted a car of his dad's. So I made him a car of his dad's. And then I ended up making his dad his own car for his birthday. And then after that, I started getting people like, hey, can you make this car for me? Or can you do this? And I'm like, yeah.
So this all came from you just wanting to make somebody's car.
Yep, it was just me. It was me being like, okay, well, I want to have a mod light race. I'm going to make all the drivers that race the mod lights that I know and then race them.
That's unbelievable. And Corey, we already talked about it. I'm getting a Bandit car made for here in the studio. I'm excited for that. So you're an entrepreneur. You're an announcer. This sounds eerily familiar to someone I know.
Might be a reason I brought him in.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like
say.
I said, I've had 2 conversations with the kid.
Yeah.
Before this, I've talked to Rob a bunch. You know, he usually tells me, "You're getting better. You got a long way to go," but I still have a long way to go. But I have a question about the announcing.
Go ahead.
Do you have everybody's names and numbers on sheets? Or are you really just like
I have them,
Like
but I
roster
don't.
sheet.
I don't use them.
I mean,
Unless it's a new driver, I don't use them.
by now it is like the same guys.
Well, here's
We do get some people that come in.
Well,
Like
the trip up for me would be the substitute drivers. Like the 2 weeks that Corey wasn't in, he had Robin, or he had Zach and Jake.
Luke. I've had
Yeah,
all
so
3
you
of
have
them.
3 weeks. Does that throw you off? Like, do you know that before the race to be able to put that in?
yes, he
Okay.
throws me off all the time.
Sometimes, bro.
Well, that's like when Tyler was driving.
Yeah, when
Zach
Typically,
Stone-
typically
was
when the 43 car is in the top 3, you know it's not him, so you can figure it out.
Yeah, that's when we start asking about who's in the car.
yeah, it's like is that Corey?
Corey's not here. His big bobblehead's not in there tonight.
The car's under control. That's somebody else. That's not just wildly swerving.
But that's-
Yeah, but there's many times that happens. It's like, wait, is that don't look like whoever is supposed to be in that car? It's like I don't think that's them.
So you're gonna have to help me because I've yet to get out to goods. How far are you away from the action? Like when it's the closest to you, how far are you away? About 50 feet, 100 feet?
50.
Yeah, about 50.
50.
And then the furthest way is what? Like the other side of the track is how far away?
I don't know.
300-400 feet.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's about a football field away.
Mhm.
So the thing that people don't realize is you don't have a spotter. I'm guessing you don't have a spotter. So you're in the same boat again that we are when we're calling plays, and you have to be able to pick that up from across the track and say who's in the lead, who's making cuts, and I'm sure that there's people passing each other on that far side of the track that you have to call and understand and see their number. And sometimes with dirt, there's a little bit of dust. So when you can't see it, what do you do?
It's it's mostly guessing. It's like okay, because like I remember it got real dusty the one night, and like we were talking about Jake. He likes to run like the really, really, really high side.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be coming out turn 4. It's like, where'd he go? Where is he? I don't see him. And then he'll just come out of the dust, and then it's like, oh, there he is.
Animal House.
Yeah, it's wild. It is exciting for me. Probably not to take away from any of the shows we've had. This is the most exciting I've been because a young man who's taken the bull by the horns, and learning more about how you got started is very, very cool. Like that's how careers get started. You've got a very, very bright future ahead of you, young man, if you keep doing this because there's not much competition in this. And I'll be honest with you. And the least amount of resistance that you have, the better chance you have to be successful in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I say keep going. Obviously, I still want to talk to you more about your business and things of that nature because business people think differently, right? Always thinking for what's the next step? What can I do next?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, what's the next step for you? What do you want to do? What's on that bucket list at 15 that you want to do by the time you're 30 years old?
Well, like I was telling you guys earlier, I made an RC car body. So that's definitely the next step. I went from them small little 1/64 scale toy cars. Now I'm building the RC bodies. I've already got people saying that depending on how this first one turns out, they might get one. Because I know that heard Jim talking about maybe letting the RC cars come out and race in the infield on Sundays, like once or twice a year. But I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Having your own car on the track while you're racing in the infield.
That's the only chance you got, Core.
Become a great remote control driver. You think I'm bad at driving this car? Wait till you see me remote control drive.
But like from your side, do you have a website? Do you sell that, or you sell it straight from people contacting you on?
Yeah, usually it's just Facebook. That's what I went to Lernerville last year, I think, beginning of this year. We were out there, and I was like, oh, this place sells, dirt die casts. I can go see what I can get from there. They didn't have very much, but I found out I could go online and find some dirt die casts, and I made a couple of Jacob Eisenhardt's cars. I made 3 of those, and I made Daryl Hinn Jr.'s car out of a dirt modified.
Look at Steve. Look at Steve gloating here. His victory lane speeches are his interviews.
So you do interviews after the race?
Yeah.
dude, we're hiring this kid. He's done.
I wouldn't know what those are like, Steve.
You don't interview the 15th place finishers?
No.
Corey, when are you going to win one?
Yeah.
Well, it's a
Like
good
I said,
question.
that 5-year plan. Like,
Is that why you're bringing all the young kids in to see where their talents
yeah,
are?
I just want to know, like, when do you plan on racing with me? I'm trying to put the date. Like, all right, might squeeze one on here. Like, it's looking good for me.
The second Sunday of next week is when Corey's going to knock out a win. All right. So if somebody wants to, let's get you some money here. All right. So we got all these racers watching right now. We've got a ton. So you make these for the racers. You make them for their families. And we know racers spend money, especially on their own cars. If they can have a little piece of what they've done to hang in their garage or put in their den or their man cave, how much does something like that cost?
Well,
Retail for you, like how much do you
Put
charge?
your profit on there.
Yeah.
Don't
Be like, oh, it costs $20, but
usually it's like the RC car body. I was saying, I spent about $50 ish in materials. It's hard to tell because like I don't charge for materials I don't use.
Stop.
So it's a
Stop.
minimum $75.
Here's
for an RC
number one rule in business is you say the price is the price. So what's the price? If I wanted a die-cast car of the Bandit Mobile, what am I getting?
164 scale, usually
Here you go. I'll take 5.
20 or 30, depending on how many
You
or
want
how
five. You're
what
gonna
kind
take
of car it is, or
That's what you used to hand out at Halloween. It's little 164 scales for the Bandit Mobile for the
I
kids.
get like $6,000 in sponsorship.
But like
'cause they-
mod lights, because they were already a die cast, I had to make a little bit of adjustments to them. I just $20.
So if I want one of those ones that are yay big, right? Like the ones that
24 scale,
what is that going to cost me?
Probably about 40, depending on
Out the
how
door.
you want it.
So if $50 and I'm good. That's with
Yeah.
probably the shipping if I need that and stuff like that, right?
Probably.
Okay,
If
so
shipping
$50.
comes to more, then it's probably gonna be 60. But
And that's
usually
fine.
50.
$60 to have your own car?
yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. And you still make profit on that, right? You still make money? Dude, that's all that matters. So 60, here's what I'm going to challenge. I'm going to challenge every racer because I haven't laid down any challenges yet. And this is my guy. Officially, this is my guy. Isaac is my guy. He is YSN affiliated. Stamp it. I want every racer to buy a die-cast car off of Isaac. I want it to happen because I want this kid to be funded so he can make his dream come true. So racers, we know how much money you put into your car. We know what you guys do. This guy is working behind the scenes for you. So you need to start working behind the scenes for him. So I'm challenging every racer, and I'm going to do it myself. We're going to have a Bandit car here at YSN. I challenge you to get a die-cast car. That's the YSN challenge of the week. So start order. How do people order? They contact you on Facebook?
Yeah.
You have your own
use
YouTube channel too?
Yeah, I got YouTube.
We got to get you a website. That's going to be my challenge. I'm going to get you a website so people can order them straight up.
Yeah, I got some of the other works that I did on YouTube where I made my own car for my. I do like stop motions. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
He crashed.
You crashed?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do have that one on my Facebook.
That
where
needs to be the
I
42
made a
car and Zach
You
Lobos.
can do stop motion. Me just going.
I made a video where I have my car, and then I went to a turn and got hooked on Steve Kinzer, and then I rolled. But when I rolled, I took aluminum foil and made my wing design, put it together on like a broken wing that got stepped on, put it on, and then let it roll and crinkle how it wanted to.
Yeah.
And then when it was done, I had a flatboard roll in, pick it up, and I posted that on my Facebook, not on my YouTube. But it was
This is
still
awesome. I'm so excited right now. And that's the thing. So best way to get a hold of you. Most of these racers have you on Facebook, I'm guessing. Right?
yeah.
Okay. How many racers are there?
Total?
Yeah.
All the classes?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Like depends, usually 70 to 95 ish.
I would say it's going to be 100.
Okay, so
we've
there's
had 22 in our class.
Yep.
The mod lights one night had 49 show up for one night. We're on that 49 or
29.
29.
Can you do these pretty quick? Can you try? Like, am I putting you in a bad situation where you're going to be busy?
Liam's RC car took.
I imagine once you get one, and then the other ones look the same as that. Then you
Yeah,
just
it's usually like Liam's car. I had to completely make. I had to build like a little mini frame inside of it because it's going on a track, so it's got to be strong. decided to build like kind of a.
Well, let's put a note that these aren't to be used. Like,
Oh, they can be. The RC car, I made sure that I purposely dropped it off of I live in the upstairs.
Research and development.
It's got R&D on this. Like,
second floor. I dropped the RC car body upside down. It landed on a pile of wood. And I picked it up, and it's.
Oh, I love it, dude. That's fantastic.
But yeah, it was. Is that the wreck or is that? Oh, that's the stop motion one. Yeah.
So do me a favor when you get home and you watch this, put your stop motion, which is on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put a link to it in the comments because you'll be able to see this on Facebook and on YouTube. Put a link to it so people can see it. That Grandpa was just showing us. That way they can see what you're doing because I love every angle of this. Yeah. This is fantastic. Like you're an announcer, but like during the day, it's kind of like Batman. Like during the day, he makes race cars, and at night he's the announcer for all the real race cars. I think that's really cool, man. I'm super proud of you. I've known you for about an hour, and I can't tell you how awesome it is to see a young man like you accomplishing your dreams and creating your dreams and turning them into reality. Grandpa, you got to be extremely proud.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely proud. I mean, this young man he's got it together. 15 years old. So, all right, I ask everybody, what do you want to do when you grow up? Is this it, or do you have something else up your sleeve?
I was thinking either I'm gonna be a driver for the World of Outlaws, or I'm gonna be an announcer for the World of Outlaws.
So how
or
do we
drive a full size sprint? Anyway.
So help me out with the World Outlaws thing. Is this huge? This is a big thing.
It's the biggest dirt speed series.
One of the top of the line sprint car divisions in the U.S.
Okay, and where are they based out of?
Everywhere.
A local track near. Yeah, they say it's just guys from random places, but that's like a series.
Okay.
That's like Kyle Larson and all them guys will join them, and yeah, they're the best of the best out there driving them sprint cars. Are super expensive. They're
80,000, 100,000 cars.
From an announcer standpoint, is this something that it's broadcast streamed, or is it like television, or what is it?
Well, they have
I feel like I've seen it.
Dirt
before.
Vision has it. It's a.
Is World of Outlaws on Flow Racing, or is that?
That's All Stars, but it's a paid program that you gotta pay like some
Flow Racing would be
dollars
more
a month.
essentially what you would do with him next year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me work on that end of it. Let me do a little research and development on our side, and let me see what I can do. And that's a dream of yours to be on there.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Let me work on that. But until then, you keep your nose to the grindstone because I wish I could tell you it's going to get easier, but it's not. Especially when you're good at something, people will want to copy you, emulate you, do what you do because there's money to be made out there. So keep doing what you do. You need to start looking at patents and things of that nature and stuff that you do. And find a little bit of, and this is the entrepreneur in me speaking, and the business owner. Find something that you do that nobody else can do, and then that's when you start making money. Mm-hmm. So if you can find one little thing that you can copyright or patent, you're in the green. And I will get the rest of these racers to support you. We'll start making packets. We'll start putting stuff out there. We'll get you your website so they can order their own stuff, and you'll start making some money. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you, man. This is fantastic, Corey. Good job on this.
It's your wheelhouse.
Right down Broadway.
Yeah,
I love it. Hey, racers, listen again. If you ever want to be on this show ever again, you will buy a diecast car off this young man because listen, I know how much money you put into it, and $60 is not going to bankrupt you.
That'll be somebody's like, hey, I won't be on your show, but show me your diecast.
Yeah, show me your diecast. And that's what the name of your company should be. Show me your diecast. Something like that. That's really, really cool. So, Isaac, Rob, thank you for joining us today. Corey, great job.
Hey, yeah, like I said, one of my proudest moments in racing is when he was announcing that I moved from 9th to 3rd and to finishing 2nd. He's like, does Corey have anything for Steve Mix? The answer was no.
The answer is always no.
No one had anything for Steve
The answer
Mix
all season long was no.
A resounding no.
Yeah. But I tried, ended up 2nd. As bad as DJ says I am, I did end up 2nd a few times. But
Peyton says, good job, Isaac. So a little love from beyond. And of course, we'll have do we have a show next week?
Small diecast of cars. I'll get a bunch of those because I deliver, I drive around. I take those tattoos with me. I get little kids. They're waving at my truck. I'm like, I got something for you, bud. I'm handing out these tattoos.
So how much is a little one?
The little
like a Matchbox.
Those ones are probably going to be depending on what material. If you want it like completely 3D printed, it'd probably be 20. If you want it just built from
take $500.
He'll give you $100 bill right now.
if you want one built from like some plastic sheets and some tubing, it's probably going to be like, again, probably 20, depending on.
I need two
What kind
cars
of
made.
detail?
I need a NASCAR that has YSN stuff all over it,
All right.
and then I need one of the Bandit. So you give me the bill and I'll make it happen. But I'll show you exactly like what I want.
Mhm.
There it is. I just did it. That's that quick. He just said, okay, it's done. So you can do it too, racers. Goods Raceway.
Make it small.
You wanna be
small
on this
ones,
show?
I'll buy 5.
You want to be on this show? Show us your diecast. Show us your diecast. They give me a picture. We'll get it approved by Isaac. We'll get it going. Until next time, which we don't know if it'll be next week or the week after, but we'll keep you up to date.
That'll be the season finale, the next one. So it'll be Sucons.
The Sucons will be here.
Yeah.
And
Saving them for last.
hey, Sucons,
There.
show us your diecast, Sucons. That's all I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
I want to see the invoice.
Yeah, there you go. You need an order sheet from Isaac.
There it is. We'll get you set up, dude. We'll get you all set up.
Isaac, hold your ticket to being on in the driver's seat.
That's it. As well as he should. That's going to do it for our show. We'll see you hopefully next week for the season finale of In the Driver's Seat with Corey Renforth. See you.